we're going to try something. I don't know what is going on, but I think YouTube might be having some difficulties. So I want this to be the right direction. Yes, thank you. Make sure that it doesn't flip back. Hopefully I can get the link. No, I don't want to add a link. Bear with me, you guys. I'm trying to figure out how we do this. For some reason, the whole time that I was trying to get it to come up over on YouTube, it kept on saying the internet wasn't connecting. It is really windy here, so I'm not sure if that's what it is. But I'm going to go over and share this link over in the event. But I'm still very excited to sew this with you all. Okay. See if I can find a picture of Apollo so people see it. Oh, always something, right, guys? All right, so that's shared there. Let me share it over on Instagram real quick because I know people were following us there too. There we go. Done. All right. Done. Now I can say proper hellos. I'm going to come over here so I can see your comments, because sometimes I can't see comments on my phone. There they are. All right. Hi, Diana. Hi, Sybil. Hi, Stacy. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sybil. Hi, Deborah. Thank you all for coming. And I'm so excited that, hi, Kayla. Oh, and hopefully I'll be able to continue to see your comments over on Facebook. All right, I'm sorry that my face is like right at you guys. We do with what we got, right? We do with what we got. So I'm so excited to be sharing with you all tonight. I'm sorry it's not over on YouTube. Maybe I can download this afterwards and upload it over to YouTube. I'm not going to promise that it'll be done anytime quickly, but I will see if I can download it and then upload it over to YouTube so that you can watch it again. Because I think Facebook videos, you can only keep them up here for 30 days or something like that. So we'll make sure that within the 30 days it's over on YouTube. Or I'll just have to do another sew along for it, Kayla. So I'm really excited because we are going to be sewing the book Bestie tonight. This is a pattern by our girl and my bestie Kayla over at Carolina's Little Stitches. This pattern, did this come out like a year over? It's a little over a year ago, isn't it, Kayla? And she really put a lot of work into this pattern. I think the biggest task of somebody who is going to design a pattern for like Kindles or e-readers or books in general is that they come in all shapes and sizes, and Kayla pretty much nailed this. So I'm really, really excited, and it really is a beginner sew. It's not something, it's over a year old. It's a day and it won't, okay. It's just a few days over a year old. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was about a year old. So, this pattern is really a great beginner sew. If I know that I have some people on here who are like, Jenna, I don't sew. I purchase items from you. I'd love to learn to sew. I would say this is probably a really good pattern to start off with. And it also does not use a lot of fabric. So you're not going to have to invest a lot to be able to do this pattern. It is definitely domestic friendly. I am going to be using my Sailrite only because it's what I'm super comfortable with. I do have a domestic, and maybe that's what I'll do, Kayla. Maybe I'll do this a second time over on YouTube, and I'll make sure to do it on my domestic machine. But it definitely is a beginner pattern. So I know Kayla is offering 10% off this month on her website. So you can go and download the pattern to be able to make it yourself. She also, let me grab all my goodies from you, Kayla. She also, where else do I have them? Kayla also makes templates. And I do have to say that she sent me this template and I was kind of like, oh, Kayla, you didn't really need to do that. You know, I don't know how many of these I'm going to make. Once you make one of these, you're going to make more. And this was by far probably one of the simplest templates for me to be able to reuse over and over again. Like, I was very shocked how fast using this template, everything came together, because I did make one yesterday. So here's the first one that I made. And I mean, it was so quick because I used the template and everything just came together. So I highly recommend, if you're someone who sews to sell, like at craft fairs and things like that, or you just think that you would make a bunch of these for gifts, to invest in the template because it went super fast. This is a great little scrap buster because, like I said, you don't need a ton of fabric for it. So definitely, I'm going to see if I can see your comments here now. It's looking like it might let me. Maybe not. So thank you so much, Kayla, for allowing me to share this pattern with everyone. Happy birthday. I know yesterday was your birthday, but happy birthday. We celebrated tonight. My son is turning 18 tomorrow. And I have a school board meeting tomorrow night. So we celebrated his birthday this evening. So it is a week of birthdays. It was also Mr. Apollo's birthday this past weekend. So we start the year off with lots of birthdays. Oh, I wish I could see your comments, you guys. Hi, Rinda. Glad you made it over here. Hi, Diana. Sybil. Okay, awesome. I think I can see your comments now, hopefully. I wish I could see them here with you guys, though. I'm sorry that you see my thumb, because it'd be nice. Swipe left. Let's see. Nope, not doing it. Facebook and YouTube must be having some issues this evening, but we'll persevere. So I'm really excited about this. I hope you'll go over and check out Kayla's page. She also has these cute little buttons, because there is a couple different options of the sleeve of like what you want to make. I think I can show this part, Kayla, right? This doesn't have any measurements. You can see here that there is a couple different styles that you can make. So definitely go and check it out. Go check the pattern out. And you don't have to cut it all out at once if you download the pattern. You only have to cut out the one that you want to make. So, and if you get the template, you get all of that. You don't have to cut anything out. So she does have these cute little buttons that you could use. Some of them say like Bookish Babe, Book Nerd. She has some really, really cute ones. And then she also has woven tags too that are very bookish. So go over and check those out. And give her some love. And I think the 10% off, Kayla, is for the whole month. I'll put it's T-Bird Bestie, right? It's 10% off at Carolina's Little Stitches. There you go. All right. Well, let's get started. I don't know. I hope you guys can see. This is going to be interesting. It's pretty much a similar setup. Maybe I should go through each of the pieces. Maybe I should do that first. I feel like I'm all scattered now that that YouTube was all messed up. So let's go through the pieces. So first thing that I'm going to share with you is the lining. And I'm specifically using some of our Normandy linen as the lining tonight. This is one that I know that I sell it in fat quarters usually when I have a hand-dyed drop. And I feel like some people kind of steer away from it. One, maybe because of the cost, because Normandy linen is just what it is. It's linen, and it is a little bit more elevated of a price point. But the thickness of it for bags, and also in particular for linings, is very, very nice. So I figured I would use that tonight just so you could kind of see, you know, how it's used and how it sews. Linen does have more of an open weave to it. So if you're doing any type of embroidery, it's really amazing for that. I feel like maybe my iPad is also not working. What is going on? There we go. All right, maybe now we can see. There they are. All right, I think we're good. Hi, Linda. All right, I think we're good. So this is the Normandy linen, so I am using that for the lining. And like I said, embroidery is really great with it. I'll try to like turn the light on it. Maybe you guys can see the weave a little bit. So it is more of an open weave, and so that's really, really nice. And I figured it'd be really good for a book bestie. So that's what we're using this evening for the lining. I did interface it with a sew fuse first, and then I did put foam in this one. The other one that I made, I did not use any foam. This one just has the sew fuse, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I only put sew fuse in this one. So you can kind of see the difference. This is brushed cotton. The print is brushed cotton, and the Normandy linen. So this one, I think the one that we're making tonight is going to be a little bit more cushy, a little bit more beefier. So, but what I'm using with this is I have sew fuse, and then I have a fusible fleece on the back of the top lining. And then for the inside lining, I did put some of Fabric Therapy, some of her self-adhesive foam in the center, just to kind of make a nice little cushion for my Kindle. So that's the lining part. And then the exterior, we are doing the Spring Court print. So this is one of the prints that is going to be on the Faetasy Romantasy series retail tomorrow night. And then it will be back again for the pre-order next Thursday. And I love this so much. This is, even though I'm not a Spring Court babe, you know, we all change sides partway through. But I definitely really like it. I think I'm going to bring it up on my laptop because something just is not right, you guys. Let's do that. So So that's my exterior. And then I do have, this is some Pebbled vinyl. This is actually going to be the exterior flat part. This is, I think this is Sallie Tomatoe Pebbled vinyl, because it is definitely a domestic friendly vinyl. So let's just grab my laptop, because I hate not seeing your comments, because it makes me feel like we're not communicating. So let me get my laptop over here. I want it to feel like we're hanging out together, because we're all friends. Let's see here. And then hopefully, no. There we go. Now I can see your comments. Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, my laptop's pretty big, so we'll see. Let me go down through your comments. Thank you, Kayla, for putting in the 10% off and sharing that. Oh, it's Luna's birthday. Diana's puppers. All right. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sharon. I'm glad you found me. You want to do the flap the way I'm doing it instead of elastic? Okay. Linda, we haven't even started yet because I've been frazzled with what the wind is so bad. I think that's what is wrong, but we'll see. Hi, Amber. All right. So literally all I've said so far, I'll just recap. We'll just start over. We'll just start now that I can actually see your comments. So tonight we are sewing the book Bestie by Carolina's Little Stitches. Okay, we're sewing this beauty right here. It's a little over a year old. Kayla did an amazing job with this. The fact that there is all sorts of sizes and styles you get to do with this one pattern is just, you can tell that she did a lot of work. She is giving 10% off her website for this month, which does include the Book Bestie template. So I highly recommend, if you want to make more of these. The first one I made, well, this one, the first one I cut out is cut out from the paper pattern. But then Kayla sent me this, and I'll tell you, it was so fast to cut this one out. So I highly recommend, if you're a template person, which I'm not a huge template person, but Kayla can agree. I messaged her right away and was like, this was fast. So I highly recommend grabbing that. She has these fun buttons over there if you want to do the button style. And then she also has really cool Bookish woven tags and a bunch of other things. Templates. I think I have pretty much every template from Kayla, and I do use them a lot. So her templates, her like other little like helper templates, I guess that's what I'll call them. I don't know if there is a different word for them. They're not pattern templates. They're like helper templates. The best. She always has the best ideas and ways to help you make things easier when you're sewing. And then the other thing I said is, if you are here on my group, and I have people in my group who have been a part of my journey in all realms, notions and tools is what I always end up calling them. There you go. They are kind of notions because they kind of help you and help you like navigate different techniques and things like that. So if you are here for quite a long time with me and you don't sew, I would say if you want to start sewing, this is probably one of the most beginner patterns I think I've done, and it turns into something really wonderful and cool. So yeah, we're gonna sew this book Bessie tonight. The biggest thing I would say is it really just depends on what you choose as to how you're going to interface it. I know Kayla does have some instructions in here. I would say if this is your first one, I would start out with some very beginner, cotton wovens, and then go from there and play with that. We are going to do a little bit of a different technique than the elastic on the outside for the little strap area that I made here. So we are going to do a little bit of a different technique. We're going to do that. And we're just going to make this fun little pattern together. So how is everyone today? I'm going to take a drink. I feel very anxious and I don't know why. Yeah, Amber, that's what I was thinking. I think I'll just download it and then I'll upload it to YouTube afterwards. But hey, it's always good to do a live here in the group. It's all good. We're just gonna go with the flow. So I'll share with you what fabrics am I using. Thank you, Amber. So I am using, a few months ago, I guess it would probably be, maybe it was August or September, the color, the dyed color for the month. So every month I drop a hand-dyed batch of fabric, hand-dyed retail batch. It usually has anywhere from 30 to 35 pieces of hand-dyed fabric. I work all summer long to dye fabrics in different colors and then release them, different ones each month. And so this would have been part of the retail batch. It was called Pine Forest. And so we're going to be using this tonight. This is our Normandy linen though. And the Normandy linen I usually have in fat quarters. I usually don't sell it in full yard cuts just because Normandy linen can be very expensive. And so, but the gorgeousness of Normandy linen is this, and maybe you can see the weave of it. It just gives it this like antique-y. I love the pine forest too, and I will tell you that hopefully this year my pictures are more color corrected than what they were last year, only because last year it was really new, and greens and blues, for some reason iPhones just don't pick it up very well. So this year we're taking pictures with you know, a much more expensive camera and color correcting them. But pine forest did not look this bright in the pictures on the website. So definitely this is probably one of my favorites, and I'm a green lover. I don't know, but I love the color green. So my husband's like, if green doesn't sell that much, why do you always choose? I'm like, I think it's just because green is my favorite color. So the Normandy linen, it also just dyes really beautifully. If you're an embroiderer, whether you're a hand embroiderer or a machine embroiderer, the Normandy linen is just really great for that. And we are working, just because of the cost of Normandy linen, I am working with my supplier to hopefully have, we do have our linen cotton canvas, which is a better price point. That is, a lot of the girls have used it for like bag structures. But if you want something that really has that like antique look, and also even to use it for other things like clothing or ruffles, those sorts of things, I'm looking to see if we can get a different weave of linen and get it at a different price point. I know you got some Normandy linen for upcoming strikes. So it's just really, really amazing, and I love it. And I figured this month I was going to use it and kind of show you how I was using it in my bag making. And so Normandy linen is what I have in the lining. There might be a few pieces left of the pine forest over on the website. I'm not sure, maybe one or two left, but every month the color is different, so I try to change it up for you guys so you can have an array. And I know many of you hoard my hand-dyed fabric, and so hopefully by doing more of these sew-alongs, you'll just cut into it. That's what it's there for. That's what you purchased it for. So we're using the Normandy linen. I'm also using some Pebbled vinyl, and it is domestic vinyl from Sallie Tomatoe. I think this came in last year's Sallie Tomatoe advent calendar. It was meant to be used for something else, but I just thought that this green, this like foresty green, went really well. And then the last fabric I'm using is, this is from our Faetasy Romantasy drop tomorrow. This is our Luxe Sateen. And when I say sateen, it is a cotton woven blend, okay? but it's thicker. And so I had tried to dye this Luxe Sateen over the summer, and just because of how thick it is, it's not that it doesn't dye beautiful, it just uses a lot of dye. So it was one of the reasons why I decided to get it printed, to offer it as one of our print, because I feel like it's a really good bag exterior or interior if you want. And it kind of replaces you know, those of you who do like to use cotton wovens. And if with the right type of interfacing, this one and our basket weave, you can actually make it feel like vinyl. I know not all of us like to interface. So this isn't small scale, this is just the regular scale. I don't have it in a smaller scale than this. This is just regular scale. So you can see. But it really turned out very cool, and I love it. Even though I'm not a spring court girl, all of us are only a spring court girl for halfway through the book, and then maybe towards the end of the book we change, right? The first one. So the Luxe Sateen is amazing. It is not silky like Sateen. Like, I really want people to know that. I think sometimes when you say Sateen to sewers, they're like, oh, is it going to slip and slide? No, it just has a sheen to it. So it just makes this like really nice sheen. You can kind of see it makes it kind of like it has a satiny look to it. And then we do have a cotton sateen that is a little thinner. That's the one that I dye. So that's the one that you'll find on our website that's hand dyed, which I know a lot of the people here who love that. Diana's like, I love the sateen. So that's what this is. This is the Luxe Sateen. So that's what we're using tonight. Let me just get my pieces organized. We're also using, because I know this is one of the things everybody's very excited about for tomorrow night, we're also going to be using some tags. So I worked with Jade and Chris from over the Heartwood and Hyde. They are amazing, and I'm so grateful to them to develop a Faetasy Romantasy 2 mystery packs of tags. If you get both sets of tags, you are going to get all the tags that we created together, including some Bookish tags that are in their vault from their Fresh Tag Fridays. So you definitely want to try to get both of the mystery packs of tags. The reason we're doing mystery packs of tags is for the retail, we're going to do them in mystery packs. For pre-order, we will allow you to pre-order them individually. So if you want extras of any for the pre-order on next Thursday, you will be able to order some of them individually. But I would say if you want the tags right away, grab the mystery packs. I only have, there's a limited amount, and it's under 2 dozen. So just keep that in mind. But the one that you will be able to order individually by itself tomorrow night is the In My Fake Court era. So you will be able to order multiples of these if you want. You know, try to be kind to everybody else who wants them. But this is one that I designed. And then we also have Cursebreaker. That's one that's in one of the Faetasy Romantasy mystery packs. And so we're using those 2 tonight. No, actually, if you order one of the mystery packs, so Jessica, that's a great question. So the 2 mystery packs, they have different tags in each. So if you order both the mystery packs, you'll be sure to get one of each of all the tags. And so you won't get any duplicates unless you buy multiple of the mystery packs of the same mystery pack, if you get what I'm saying. So there'll be two options. Does that make sense? Jessica's like, I want both. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Erin. So those will be available. And like I said, Jade and Chris were just amazing. And I just really, truly appreciate them and their help in this because it takes a village. That's what I have to say about that. It definitely takes a village. But all for tomorrow night, before we get sewing, everything will go up on the website at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Like I said, it is a limited retail drop, which means we only have on the site what we have inventory for. So you will want to set an alarm for this if you really want a specific print, but all of the prints will be back again on Thursday, January 18th for the pre-order. And I do have to say, we probably have one of the fastest pre-orders around. We hope to keep it that way. So 7 weeks turnaround time. And I think this last time we got everything out in 5 weeks. So, you know, definitely don't stress. If you want something, you'll be able to get it. So, you know, definitely get ready for that. All right, what else did I want to show real quick? The other thing, I'll show you this. So this is a bucket bag that I just made that also has the Normandy linen dyed on the bottom. This video is going to come out on the 20th, but I show how to use a woven on the bottom of the clear tote, Tuesday tote, and how to add like an extra pocket in there for like a cell phone pocket. And then the bottom is actually lined with jelly vinyl. So that video will come out on November 20th. But I like doing the Tuesday totes like this, where it's clear in the top and then using some of my dyed fabric on the bottom. So that's also the Normandy linen. All right, I think that's it. Apollo is in his little position over here. He's ready to sew. All right, so where do we start, Kayla? Let me look at what I did the first time around. I'm not putting a pen area on mine. So if you're doing the pen, like the pen slot, I'm not doing that tonight. But I think what we'll do is we'll start with the little band area. Instead of doing the elastic, I'm doing like a little band. So we'll start with that first. What happened to the stuffed llama? So Diana is one of my strike team members, and we had a live the other night, and I did have a stuffed llama from Katie from My Little Shindig back behind me, and Apollo once in a while would like fall in love with her, and he literally stole it right from behind us. She's downstairs. He's kept her pretty much intact since the other night. Oh, what are we sharing? Okay, let's see here. All right. Hi, Yesenia. Rest in peace, llama. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, so this piece here, I'm guessing you guys want some measurements. This piece here, this is the inside part. So it's 1.5 inches by 10. Yeah, it's 1.5 inches by 10. That's this piece here. And then I believe this piece is 2.5 inches by 10. And I'm going to just notch slightly with this. All right, I'm just gonna, just a little tiny, because I don't have a lot of seam allowance, but I do want to find my centers on this, because I'm going to put my tag in the center of this. So I'm going to tilt you guys down. Hopefully, oh, and now I'm turning, am I turning my volume up? Hopefully we're good. All right, sorry, I made a pause. So I just notched, like, I just put little, you don't want to do too much on, again, the Normandy linen will fray. You can kind of see some of that already. But once you interface it, it's fine. You don't have to worry too much about it. Is this good? Is this a good angle? We're perfect. I know my boobs. Oh, how's that? Is that better? And you can see my little McDonald's guy there, my little McDonald's ghosty. So I'm just gonna get a little bit. Listen, when you get to my age, they've just always been they're always in the shot. So I'm just going to put a little bit of double-sided tape, and then I'm going to try to center this as best I can, because again, I'm not going to have a whole lot on either side. And the T on this is pretty much the center. I'm using Amazemint thread from Siah. And on my sail right, I usually do, for top stitching, I usually do like a 4 or 4.5 top stitch. I've been so excited about this drop. Excited and nervous. I can't tell you. Let's see. Do I have any more space there? No. But I think it's going to be good. I'm already planning the next one. I think that's why it feels a little bit overwhelming, is like we're starting to think about spring and we haven't even finished this one. Stay where you're at, stay where you're at. I need to get better at this tag thing. Amber, you're so good at this. You crank the whole time though, don't you? There's a little bit. All right, and hopefully I don't have to make another bobbin. I think I have enough. That was the other thing. This is such a quick sew that I only needed one, not even a whole bobbin to do it. It's been a long time since I had something like that. Hi, Bubbers. Apollo's here checking everything out. You had plenty of bonies today. All right, so there is our tag. It looks so good. Oh my goodness, the amazement on these green tags. All right, so I'm gonna find the center on the piece of vinyl strip as well. What's up, man? And now I'm just going to line up the centers. I need to get some clips out. Yes, I did put interfacing on the back of the piece of Normandy linen, just because Normandy linen can be, it is supposed to be drapey. So this is So Fuse from Casteen's Handcrafted. It's one of my favorites. This does not have, the vinyl doesn't have anything. Yeah, no llamas tonight. And then I'm just going to sew a 1/4 inch. Let me see where that will land around here. Probably 1/8 of an inch. I think I'm just going to do 1/8 of an inch down along this. And then I'm going to move this over. You'll see we're going to kind of make a tube. I'm going to change my stitch length. Also, if you didn't, before you started and you have an industrial machine, make sure that you do oil your machines or in your rotary hook area if you haven't sat and sewn for a couple days. What do you want? Attention. As soon as I'm giving anyone else attention, right? My daughter's boyfriend was here for New Year's, and Apollo got very attached to him. So when he left today, he had a little bit of a crying fit. It's so crazy how attached he gets to people. Oh. All right, so this is going to be a little tricky because it's vinyl. And you can see I kind of have this like tube going on here. But I'm going to do the same thing, just 1/8 of an inch down this side. And I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and the end. Right sides together, this is. Oh, and something isn't right. My bobbin is, there we go. Come on. Try that again. No barkins. Oh my goodness. For those of you who don't know, my dog is part husky. I hear you. I hear you. What's up? Might have to go grab a teenager. So he likes to have conversations and boss us around. Because he's also part Australian Shepherd, so he tries to hurt us. Your dog barked and said hello. So I've not done this with vinyl like this. We'll see how hard this is to turn right side out. Probably gonna give my fingers a... Oh, buddy, your life's so hard. I know. Oh, yay. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna be here for a little bit playing finger war. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get Isabella to take him out. So I think that's what he wants. You can go outside. Is that what it is? Isabella! Isabella. That's what he wanted. I want to go outside. Wow. We're going to need to use a little bit of a turner here. Wait till you guys see my fancy turning tool. This is one of those like glass nail file things. So this gives us a good, this will make the video longer. Hi, Georgie. When we get to the tag, it's going to be even more difficult, I think. It's all right. It's going to look so awesome once we do this. The other one I did, I used cotton woven in vinyl, and my cotton woven piece was a little wider. So if you don't want to fight with it like I'm doing right now, I would say make it a little bit wider. If I could get it to shift, but the vinyl won't shift on itself because it has that like microfiber backing. But we'll get it. It's just going to take some time. He's coming back, you guys. He's not going to leave us alone. Are you, boogers? What? We're getting it. Getting close. Thing is, my fingers are not the best either. All the dyeing of fabric, I definitely advanced my carpal tunnel syndrome. I have no doubt that that surgery is in my future. Come on. There we go. Maybe. The tag is right here. If I could get the tag to come through. Yeah, it won't shift. We have to force it, guys. We gotta force it. Come on. Apollo. What? Now he's just being bossy. He's like, I want a bone for being a good boy. There you go. You broke me again. I have no self-control with you. He does have pretty good manners for a dog, other than with me. Because we can, oh, there we go. Now we're getting it. Now we're cooking with some gas. There. Awesome sauce. All right, now you want to try to just flatten it out, make sure it's as straight as possible, and then that's going to give us two, kind of like a frame on either side. It's worth, do you have forceps? I do, but you know, the linen, I'd be worried to use the forceps on the linen just because of the weave. I wouldn't want to pull any of the threads, but hey, we got it. We got it. So now I'm just going to clip this just a little bit to keep it that it's like, that it looks even on either side. And then we're going to top stitch down either side. So, since we're talking about books here, share with me what's currently on your Kindle. What book are you currently reading? It doesn't have to be romance. It can be whatever you're into. But I'd love to know what books you're currently reading. I'm currently reading the ACOTAR series. I'm still on book 3 because I just haven't had a whole lot of time to read. I have wanted to sleep the past couple of weeks. So I know if I start reading where I'm at in the book, I know that if I start reading, I won't stop. Sybil, you're on book 3 too? That means I need to get reading. Maybe tonight when this is over, I'll start reading. So I'm gonna just back stitch once. Come on. There we go. And I'm just going to stay stitch down the side. So I'm going to close this up. All right. So there we go. We have that part done. So you can see how it looks. All finished. Look how pretty. Here's the back. Oh, look at that. I didn't see that back. That was my bobbin. Oi, oi, oi. Let's clean that up. That was my bobbin. Being a pain. Let's see, is that part of it? Yeah. This isn't gonna matter. I'm just gonna flip that. Turn that, but the back for the most part, other than that, looks, my stitches look pretty good. All right. So we're just gonna set this aside for now. On the final ACOTAR. Oh, cool. Lots of ACOTAR lovers. Thanks to Amber, I'm addicted. Amber and Kayla. All right, so next, the next part that we're gonna work on is, I always need a pattern, you guys. We're gonna do our top piece. So that means I have to make a decision about the Cursebreaker tag. So I was thinking two things, because this is going to be going, you know, like long ways like this across. I don't think I would put any other tag on the outside unless I put the, because this does go this direction, right? Yeah. So I could put it on the back, maybe. The other place that I was thinking was on the inside flap. What do you guys think? On the back or the inside flap? I will definitely post when I'm all done. What do you guys think? Because I need to make that decision now, I guess. Because if I put it on the flap, then I need to on the back. Amber says on the back. Inside flap, inside to back, inside flap. This is, we had this earlier today in our little chat group of, I don't know, it's tough. See, now there's a toss up. There's 2 for the back and 2 for the inside flap, and I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I kind of think the back. Because I feel like no one's gonna see it really but me on the inside flap. I think we're gonna save it and put it on the back. I think I agree with the back people. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to put these right sides together. Our flap. And so I have my linen, Normandy linen. It is interfaced with Sew Fuse and then a fusible fleece. So this one is going to be a little bit more poofers than my other one. And then our seam allowance is 3/8 of an inch. So, and then we're going to clip that down a bit. So I'm a big fan of having a magnetic seam guide, especially around a curve. Can you show other one when you're done with this and like to show? I will definitely show and compare. We'll definitely have a little chitty chat at the end, and we'll show and compare them. I'm just gonna back stitch here a bit. birthday candles were in a pizza this year. He didn't want cake. All right. And then you're going to want to clip this down. You don't want that much. You only want about a 1/4 inch. And sometimes I kind of like I don't clip my stitches, but when you come to an end like that, if you want to kind of do it on a slant. And then you definitely, especially if you're doing vinyl, you're going to want to clip around the curve so that it lays nice. These are Kai scissors. These scissors are the sharpest scissors, and they've stayed the sharpest that I've ever owned. Especially when you're cutting through vinyl and stuff all the time. All right. Hi. Yes, I have fusible fleece here, but there's so fuse first. It's probably overkill, but I have so much fusible fleece, you guys, that I'm just like, I've been using it on things I don't need to use it on. Trying to just get rid of it. And then again, my handy little turning tool, I like to go back with the rounded end of this. You can get these just at like the Dollar Tree or whatever, right? But it's a really good, like, because the rounded edge is really good to kind of like smooth a seam out. Okay. And then we're just gonna clip our seam down, and I like to just, the vinyl is gonna be what's on the outside, so I like to make sure I roll it, that I'm not gonna see the Normandy linen underneath. Amber, I'm excited to see you use the Normandy linen for something. And the color as well. I think it's a color people don't always think about using for things. You guys are going to like springtime. It's going to be so good, especially for dyed fabric. What size am I making and what machine do I have? So I am making the Kindle Bestie. And I have a Sailrite fabricator. I've had the fabricator now, I guess it's 2 years I've had my Sailrite fabricator. I love it. I would definitely say I don't know anything about Jukies. I'll say that first. I don't know anything about Jukies. I've never even sewn on one, so I can't compare. I originally got a fabricator because we have the glamping tents here on our farm, and I was repairing those. And everything I read as far as the heavy-duty canvas that we use on those tents, the Sailrite, the fabricator, was really the only one that I saw could handle the number of layers that we need to go through with that. I will tell you that in my first week of having it, I broke it. And thank God for my husband, who is a mechanic, because he helped replace the rotary hook that I snapped and get the timing and everything set back. But I know Rinda, she just learned how to fix hers. I think this is probably a rule of thumb for everybody who has an industrial machine. You have to somewhat be a sewing machine mechanic to have an industrial machine, right? It's not like a domestic machine. My domestic machine is a Bernina 475 B QE. It's like the calf edition. And I only have that about a year because prior to that I sewed on a 1970s Singer, which I loved. But you can't find all the parts for it anymore, so. My husband, he's a jack of all trades. Definitely. He is definitely. So we're going to top stitch this 1/8 of an inch. I have a very supportive guy. I'm very lucky. And he's loved doing all the fabrics. He's so funny. When we were cutting all the pre-orders from November, every time there was like a new print or something, he was like, and here's the kicker, you guys. My husband's colorblind. So every once in a while I'll be like, I'm not quite sure about this one. And it's because he can't see like what colors it actually is. But he is having a really good time with it. There we go. Looks so nice. Ta-da! Looks good in the back. Looks good. This kind of looks like turtles on the hand dye, doesn't it? Kind of looks like there's turtles there, which is so cool. Kind of goes with the spring court like theme. Okay, next step. Let's see here. So now I need to get my back. So we're gonna put this tag on the back. That's what we're gonna do first. And I need to decide where that is gonna go. So I need to find my centers. Always important. Okay. I mean, there kind of is a really good spot for it, like right there. Do I want it to go? Yeah, I want it to go that direction of the way the fabric's going. I don't want it to go the other way. Is the B the center or the BR is the center? This is me being very anal about things. Yeah, the BR is the center. I know. So here's a tip. So I used to work, I worked in the fashion industry for quite a while. Bags and shoes. And, you know, green and blue is actually the most purchased colors for everything from apparel to house, you know, home goods, green and blue. But, you know, you don't see enough of it in our bag making, I feel. But you know what was really interesting? I mean, obviously pinks and purples are always like a huge hit in any female fashion. But I will say that when we offered we offered like greens or teals, like just crazy. So it definitely, I just feel like people don't always think of it, even if it is someone's favorite color. All right, so this square piece that's under the tag is 2 1/4 high by 3 1/2 wide. Okay. Ooh, you're making the large one for your iPad. I probably should have done that. I probably should have made one of those. So I'm going to top stitch all around this piece, and then I'm going to top stitch the tag. we're getting detailed here tonight, you guys. And it will probably mean that I won't have enough bobbin for this one. So you'll have to be here and listen to me wind a bobbin. And this Luxe Sateen just so nice. You know, Sailrites are kind of known for not liking things that aren't beefy, like not liking fabrics that aren't, you know, like kind of thicker. And just with that little bit of sew fuse, it's perfect. Everybody's joining the party. I am so glad that we were able to do it. I don't know what was going on over on YouTube, but we'll make sure the video goes up over on YouTube then. I was like, where am I going to do this? And I'm like, well, I will just go in my group. And it'll be where it is for today. I have some of the other, some basket weave I pulled out of the Faetasy Romantasy series. That is the White Rose Garden, the Spring Rose Garden, and the Arrow Pointing Home. I'll show them to you guys when we're done here. And they're more like blues and like rose golds. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make with it yet, but those two fabrics from the Faetasy Romantasy series, I love the color. I'm going to do a little different. We'll see if I can get professional like Amber is. So I have to think about what I want to make with those. And then I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm not a Raven Puff. I'm a Hufflepuff, and so I do have some of the Badger fabric too that I want to make some things with. And then I absolutely love the Moonlit Black Roses and the Black Blood Roses. I feel like those would make really cool pieces. And the rainbow watercolor flowers, like, I think it'd be so cool to do like a rainbow patchwork bag with them. So I have lots of ideas, but very little time. So you guys will have to just do the ideas for me. And the Bookish series, so the Faetasy Romantasy and the Dark Academia, I might not bring them back, both of them back for the spring. We'll see. But I'll definitely, for sure, I already know that I'll bring the Dark Academia back for the fall. Because the designer that I'm working with, we're working on some other prints for that series. But the Faetasy Romantasy, we'll see how it does. And then when I'm going to bring it back. Amber's a Slytherin. I never would have guessed that of you. Slytherins aren't bad. I think people misjudge them. I would say my stitches aren't half bad, Amber. What do you think? They're not half bad tonight. I did okay. The cranking and starting at the one end, I misunderstood. Yeah, I think it turned out okay. All right, so we have that done. Now we're going to, oh, I probably should have found my center on this. I'm just going to clip just like a little tiny, just a little tiny bit so I know where it is. And so now we're going to position that on our exterior. And clip that in place. Okay, and you're just going to stay stitch this, so it's just 1/8 of an inch. I usually do a back stitch, especially at like these, when you have something really thick like this, I usually do a little back stitch on my stay stitches, because you don't want it to pull out when you're getting ready to like sew it all together. Okay. Oh, this is going to look so cool. I'm very excited. All right, so we have this piece. Now, where do we go next? What do we do next? Now we're going to put our strap on the front. So I have to measure that. Yes, so that was the exterior back. So this is the exterior back piece. Exterior back. All right, now we're going to get our exterior front. And I need to measure 1 3/4 inches. And now this is going to be a little bit longer. It should be at least. And I just try to center it up. The other one, I had thought about making it longer and just like allowing it to be a little bit like up higher. But I really like to give it more slack. But I really didn't need to on this one. And like I can show you like my Kindle. You know, the Kindles are fairly sleek now. I could still fit a lot in here and still close it. So you don't really need that extra slack. You just need it to like lay nice and look nice. So I'm just gonna lay it flat on here. Make sure that I have it in place. I'm gonna use my biggies. This is why I love these clips. You can find these on Amazon. There's so many times that I have something that these clips come in handy. All right, so now we're just gonna stay stitch these with 1/8 of an inch. I am going to backstitch at the beginning and the end. Where's my little line? Oh. Oh, this is gonna look so cool when it's done. All right, so I'm just gonna clip these to be flush, so I don't have a ton of excess. All right, now the fun part. Now we're gonna start putting them together. So we're gonna get our exterior, are we gonna do our exterior or interior first? I guess it doesn't really matter. We can do our exterior first. So we're gonna do our exterior first, and we're gonna put right sides together. Okay, I did not find my centers on this one. I also downloaded all of the Bridgerton books because I've watched the show and I really like the show, but then I'm like, there's so many of the books. I'm like, maybe I want to read all the books before I see all of the, like, Netflix does their thing with all of it. Has anybody read the Bridgerton books? I'm also a big historical romance fan. Sometimes I need that as a palate cleanser. I'm a really big fan of, like, English Regency era. The books are better, Mo. See, that's what I was thinking. I heard that from a lot of people, that the books were much better. So I just downloaded the Bridgerton books. Not like I don't have, how many new books is Sarah J. Maas coming out with? 7? Amber, you like historical romance too? All right, so then we need our seam allowances 3/8. And so what basically you're doing is you're pretty much coming down to your corners with this. So just keep that in mind. And there is a new, I am really excited actually for this upcoming season of Bridgerton because it is Penelope's. Is it Penelope this time around? I really like the one that they did with Queen Catherine, like to tell that whole story. I thought it was really well done, but I'm sure the books are so much better. I know. 20 days. 20 days. Yeah, we all know. Whatever she puts out. Yeah. She's so good at the visual, like the world building thing. You know, like she really... And I think that's why at first when everybody was talking about it, I was like, I don't know. I've read some of the other, like, fantasy romance books, and I was like, couldn't get it because you have to be a really good writer to hold my attention, and it can't be every other paragraph, can't be, you know. I was going to say I need some meat. I need some story. Don't get me wrong, I still like the other parts, but I need some story with my smut. Okay, so now that we have the free sides of the exterior together, we still have these little points at the bottom, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and just kind of box it, but you're not clipping anything off. You're just making your triangle here at the bottom. And I moved my seams to opposite sides. And then you're just gonna sew across. I went back and forth once. We're just gonna clip that. Stephanie Lauren, I have not read hers. There for a long time, I was definitely more of a nonfiction person. And I think it's just because I didn't want to believe I had the time to read things that weren't, weren't important, but like things that were for like leisure. I didn't feel like I was in that season. But definitely with dyeing the fabric this summer, I found myself feeling kind of creatively burnt out, because it's physical creativity constantly, right? Let's turn it around. Let's see how we look. So I found her books to be really obviously her books were very inspiring creatively. Look at that nice boxed. Looking good. Looking good. Oh, this is going to look so good when it's done. I'm excited. How fun is that going to be? Oh, how nice. All right, we're just going to set that aside for now. And now we're going to work on our lining. All right, so again, like I said, I did interface the Normandy linen with Sew Fuse from Casteen's Handcrafted. And then this is self-adhesive foam from Fabric Therapy. Because I thought, you know, with it being in my Kindle, I wanted some protection there, but I feel like even if you just did fusible fleece, that's plenty. So we're going to clip this. How thick is the foam? I don't know. How thick is the foam? I feel it's not quite a 1/4 inch. Not quite. I love it. I have to say, I've used it. I mean, it's a learning process to learn what to use foam with. And, you know, if you do sew through it, so I have sewn through it on my Sailrite, and this is what I'll tell you. It does gum up my needle a little bit, but not enough that it became a problem. I just always keep either glass cleaner. I put on a paper towel, and that'll also clean off your needle. Like for my glasses, I have stuff to clean my glasses here. That'll clean off your needle, or just some rubbing alcohol. But on a domestic, I would say I probably wouldn't try to sew through it. If I wanted to quilt something, I would probably get the sew-in stuff. All All right, so we're going to sew this down and over, and then we're going to leave a gap because we have to be able to turn this out, okay? Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, I cut it so that it's out of the seam allowance for this. But you start getting braver about, you know, what bags you're going to use foam with. Use vodka. Hey, girl. It works. I mean, it's basically, vodka's basically rubbing alcohol. I mean, come on, guys. Shoot. Leave a hole. We're going to leave a hole, and it's going to be, it's going to be wonky, but it's going to be a hole nonetheless. We're going to, that's almost 4 inches. I'm not ripping it out. I need a place for my woven label. So now we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to box our corners. This one's definitely going to be more cushiony. I'm getting worried about the bobbin, you guys. I heard the little tinkle-link-a-link. I haven't been able to really win the bobbin roulette here on my videos lately. Although I feel like I needed this type of sew along that was like a really simple, fun pattern. Oh, I just unthreaded my needle. After doing the Big Bertha transponder tote, Jen was not fooling that her larges are large. But it was a fun sew, and I am excited about doing another one. Now that I did one, I feel pretty confident that I could get through another, but it would definitely not be live, and I would need to have breaks. You guys who made your transponder totes, I saw Rinda's, Janie put hers up. They're so great. All right, so now we have that done. Now we're going, let's not mess this up. I mean, I guess I could put it inside of here, right? And that'll still, well, no. We're going to turn this back inside out. That's always the easiest. Turn this back inside out. There. And then, where's my back? That's my back. That's my front. It's right sides together, right, you guys? Yes. Right? I always hate this when I second guess myself. If you weren't here, if all of you weren't here, I wouldn't second guess myself at all. I'd be like, that's the way it's done. Yeah, it's right sides together. All right, so we're going to put this inside. Put it down in there. Probably made that more complicated than I needed to. And then I basically, what I do with my seams is I fold one direction and one the other direction. And then I clip it and clip it good. Right? Yes, we're good. I'm right. Reassuring myself. You just want to make sure that when you're sewing this, that you are sewing, you know, that we're going to be we don't want to see that stay stitch that we put that back on with. Definitely with the foam, it's a little bit more to maneuver. But I think it's going to look really good when it's done. Okay. And what is our seam allowance to put this together? 3/8 of an inch. Yepers. Alrighty, here we go. Thanks, Susie. I appreciate that. Oh, please have enough of bobbin. Alright, so we're going to keep our 3/8 of an inch and we're just going to sew all the way around. I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and the end. And I'm just going to kind of do like a circle situation here. Sorry that you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep this as flat as possible. And that's definitely one of the things when you're doing something that has a flap like this, you do really want to make sure that you're sewing that flap straight. Sometimes if you want, you could use use your stiletto to kind of hold like where that flap starts in place. Moment of truth. I don't think Kayla clipped any of that down. I didn't the last time. It was nice to have that when I sewed my top stitch. All right, now we're going to pull it right sides together. We're going to birth this baby. foam makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's gonna go. We're good. All right. Now I'm gonna get my turning tool and put it down in there to get my box corners down here. Nice. Oh gosh, I just love that look, Sateen. And I mean, I could iron this a little bit, but it's not super wrinkly. Like, I would say the linen has more wrinkles in it than the Sateen does. Oh, we need to do that. We need to close it. So we need to close it up first. Should I close it up first, or should I wait till I top stitch it? You pulling through the hole in the and yes, the hole in the interior is what I was pulling everything through. Yepers. So I think I am, because I did close the last one. I don't see a reason why I couldn't do this now. So I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to find what was the tag I was going to use. I think I might have lost the one I was going to use. So now I need to see if I have another one in here. Because I think these kits come, I wanted the Bookish Babe one. Yeah, there it is. Bookish Babe, that's the one I want. These are so cute and simplistic. Like, they all go with everything. I love that. Sometimes, like, I love woven tags, but sometimes it's really, you know, to find it like that matches your project. Okay. And because I was wonky with my closure here, I'm actually gonna kind of sew this closed all the way along the bottom. It's gonna be, yeah, she has cute tag packs. It's gonna be a little wonky here, but it'll be fine. All right. So now it's so cute. Oh, it makes me happy. All right. Now we're gonna turn it right side in. Oh, here, I'll show you before I move. Isn't it cute, a little Bookish Babe? It's very cute. All right. Now we're gonna push this inside here, like so. Make sure that our corners are really pushed down in there. Yeah, boy, this foam does make it. We're gonna have to do some rolling. Really push it down. Oh, but it's nice. Okay. Sybil's like, I gotta go get it now. It is a good pattern. Like, I can see not getting sick of making this. All right, so now that I really rolled my seams down in there, now we can move on the top stitch. And so I'm just going to clip it just to try to keep it, because, you know, definitely like where your seams are, it'll want to roll on you a bit. Where do you guys start when you have a bag like this? Do you start in the back and like work your way around, or do you start at like the seam, like at a seam place? Where do you guys start when you're top stitching something like this? Because I have a tendency to want to start in the back, but the last one I started at the seam and it actually worked out pretty nice. In the seam. The professionals are saying in the seam. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start in the seam. Again, guys, I don't ever claim to be as good as you guys at my bag making. I've sewn for over 20 years, but my bag making journey, watch out, started 2 years ago. So I definitely don't claim to be as well informed. All right, let's make this baby pop with some good stitches. And we're not going to back stitch. We're just going to this is the part where you don't breathe the whole time. Boy, that wind. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is really windy. Alright, so here we're at the back. Just want to make sure that I'm good. Alright. So who's going to Sew Magical this year? Oh, high winds, tornado warnings. Oh, goodness, Susie. I think I'm going to be teaching at Tennessee. My son starts his first year of college, so college move-in is literally that week before. So I knew that if we're going to vend, it definitely is not going to be in Tennessee. But I probably will be able to teach Shambori and... Oh, guys, I lost the bobbin horn. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. So Magical is a expo, like a sewing expo, where you can take classes for all sorts of different, with all sorts of different people, different talented artists, I would say. So everything from bag making to different types of crafts that fit into bag making, clothing making. I took 2 serger classes with Salty Sews. So like it's just a really fun couple days. Sorry about that. All right. It is one of the things I love about my Silverate, though. I could actually make a bobbin while I'm sewing Rinda or any of my other, yeah, the bobbin gods weren't listening. They don't really ever listen to me. I'm not ever lucky with it. Yeah, it's awesome. And it's actually how, like, I mean, how I got connected with a lot of you is that I taught Indigo Shimbori at the Texas one. And then I taught it again, as well as traditional dyeing at Florida. So this year, I think I'm going to teach at Tennessee. I might teach and vend at Florida, but I'm pretty sure we're vending at Florida, which means I need to dye. I need to dye double the amount of hand-dyed fabric that I dyed last summer, which is making me tired just thinking about it, but excited at the same time because I have so many different colorways that I want to try. So it will be exciting to see what we can create. All right, I'm going to pull through some of this so that I can knot this one off. While we're talking about, so Magical Vase, I know, Amber, we'll meet eventually. I need to get my kid in college. That's been like, once my kid's in college, then I'll have time in the winter months to do any of those other events. I am going on the Oka Roots cruise. That's not sewing at all. It'll just be fun hangout. But because that's before summer hits and before it's time to start dyeing fabric. All right. Let's finish this puppy. What colors do you want me to dye this year? I know I've done a lot. Are there any like color combinations that you'd like to see? I feel like some of the spring fabrics that I'm designing right now, the prints I'm designing for the spring pre-order, I've been thinking about like, how can I dye some that coordinate with like these fabrics, the Bookish series this time, and then also the fabrics that I'm going to have in print for spring and summer. But if there's certain colors, I know I was so close, wasn't I? And it's my luck. My husband's like, so are you going to dye any green again? And I was like, I love green. Even though I think it was mostly my pictures just weren't pulling the color that it actually is. Because you can see so much more of the color it actually is in this video than you could in my pictures with my iPhone. Like, truly. Now I have two. My daughter is a big, just like, she likes to read just print books. And when she saw the first one I made, she's like, so you're going to get me a Kindle, right? And I was like, you don't even want to read it on digital. Yeah. I'm like, I can make one like a book size. There is a book size one. She crochets, so she's like, that's okay. I'll just crochet myself one. So I'll probably end up making one for her. Or she'll decide she wants a Kindle, and that will be on her birthday list. All right. Let's burn down those threads. Oh my goodness, this is cute. Just smoothing out some of my seams here, you guys. Oh my gosh, so adorable. I'm telling you, this pattern is, Kayla, it's so good. There's my, I probably should have cut that different on the back, that it wouldn't be upside down, that it would have been, yeah, that's my fault though. But yeah, so cute. Let's get my Kindle out of my other one. So now you can kind of see. So here's the one that I just, this was our brushed cotton woven and the Normandy linen. And then this is butter from Tammy over Weft and Warp, her butter vinyl. And I only interface this with Sofuse, I think. Yeah. Or was it fleece? No, I interfaced this with the fusible fleece. That was it. So you can see the difference with the foam. Kind of how much more poofy this one is. It's called Butter. Maybe Amber can pop a link for Tammy in there. Someone can. Yeah, this green, it's called Butter Vinyl. Butter. It's super soft. It's really, really nice. But I have really felt the green, this green, I don't know what color actually it's called. It's like a jade green color, but it actually was in this Lost Library print a lot. So I felt like it went really well. And I wasn't going to, just so you know, there's very limited of this. I actually printed this as just a test to see how I liked it printed. But it will be back for the pre-order. And I wasn't going to offer our prints in the brushed cotton. But then once I got it printed in the brushed cotton, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to offer it on the pre-orders at the 70-inch width. Just because if anybody did want to make anything clothing-wise, the 70-inch width is really nice for that. So I do dye the brushed cotton woven. So if you've done the brushed cotton woven dyed, the same type of feel. It has like this real velvety feel to it. It's very different. All right, I'm going to move so you guys can see my face. Hello. And we'll hold them up side by side. I have to use a Teflon foot when top stitching butter. I don't have to do that. I have the narrow foot on my sale rate. So that's the foot I use. So here's the one we made tonight that has the foam using the Normandy linen and the Luxe Sateen in the spring court. Very, very pretty. This here would also, like, those of us who have tons of rose gold hardware and you're not sure where to use it, I feel like the spring court definitely also, you could use rose gold and it would be really pretty with it. And then this is the other one I made, and that just has fusible fleece interfaced. And this is the Desert Rose that I just currently released, and this is also in the Normandy. There is still a fair amount of pieces of the Desert Rose. So that's another thing tonight. So tomorrow, not tonight, tomorrow night, all retail will be up. So retail dyed. We are doing a flash batch. I think Amber can probably post her pictures of the book wallet she did with some of the flash batch long stem roses. It was a happy accident. There's very little of it, just letting you know. A lot of it is denim twill. So there will be dyed fabric up tomorrow. There is some newly released items, including, these are things that I just didn't get around to taking pictures with, including a new feather print and another tag. So black diamond feathers, which I feel goes so well. I mean, I know they don't have actual feathers. They're more like bat wings, but I feel like these are just, this is actually probably one of my favorite feather designs that I've made. So the black diamond feathers will be available. Amber, I think, used regular scale, not small scale. Amber has regular scale. The small scale, I don't have any up here with me, but the small scale is definitely a lot smaller. I can post a picture of them. I'll go down and get it then, and I'll post a picture side by side for you guys so you can see. And then in with the black feathers, there also is a tag, a feather tag that says Hope Whispers, try one more time. So there's half yard and full yard Kona cotton. So Kona cotton, the 3 different cottons we have our brushed cotton, which is what this is, that I would say is our thickest cotton woven. Then we have the Kona cotton, which is like a quilt cotton. And then we have the broadcloth poplin, which I only dye that. I don't offer that in any prints. And that is thinner. That's like you could still use it for quilting. You can still use it for bag linings and things like that, but it's a thinner cotton. So that's those. You will never see Kona cotton available for pre-order, or it'll only ever come in feathers. Just so that you know. All right. What should I get, Sateen? It's really up to you. I have the basket weave here. I can show you that as well. In the other 2 prints that I have upstairs here. So I feel like the reason I decided to offer originally the prints, in any retail I probably offer, except for some limited like test ones that I feel like I like it, because I'm primarily supporting you all as bag makers. Apparel is still really close to my heart. It's something that I'm focused on learning this year in 2024. So some of my sew-alongs will be getting the serger out, and we'll be doing so my eco-organic knit, the large box thermal, some lycra. We'll be doing that in print. But originally I just wanted to focus on offering a cotton, thicker cotton bases for bag making. And so that's really what we start off with. So the luxe sateen you'll always see in our retail prints, and then the basket weave, which is it's a more of a yarn, a cotton yarn blend. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the camera. Yeah, there you go. So it has more of basket weave look to it, which gives us this really cool textured look when it prints. Some of the prints, it gives me this vintagey vibe, which is something that I really love personally. But then some of the prints, like the night court one, do I have a sampler? Not yet. Susie, we're going to get there. My husband and I have been talking about it. We're in the middle of building a building to do a lot of this stuff, because right now we're cutting fabric in my basement, which is my son's teenage pad. So he's like annoyed that mom is taking over it. But we got our building halfway up, and then winter hit. So as soon as the spring comes up, we'd like to do sample packs so that you're able to feel it and see it. But I would say, I mean, a lot of my strikers are here live. They've all sewn with the basket weave and the luxe sateen, and they all love it. So this, I would say, is more structure. You're going to get more structure than like a drape. I mean, it's definitely not, it's not vinyl. But I know Amber, when she did her spice rack, I don't know what she exactly interfaced it with, But she was saying to me, like, it definitely felt like if you interface it right, it would feel like you were working with vinyl. And I can see that with this. So this one here, this is part of the Faetasy Romantasy ones. And I love this one. This one's called Arrow Pointing Home, because I felt like this was Freya's, her arrow. And this kind of looks, if you can see it, there's a bunch of like symbols out there that kind of look like Valeris, and so that's what it kind of looks. The sateen doesn't have stretch. It's not a stretch fabric. It's definitely very structured. It's just a very thick, what I would say is a thick cotton woven that then has this sheen to it. The eco-organic knit is the only thing other than our large box thermal and our lycra that is actual stretch. And if you didn't see, I do have pinned to the top. I do have pinned to the top of the page. I went into a description of all the different fabrics that are going to be part of our prints, so that you can kind of see, like, what is the weight, what is the width, you know, what is it best used for. And the first two are the basket weave and the Luxe Sateen, which if you're a bag maker, those are the two that I recommend the most if you're a bag maker. You could still use this if you wanted to for the Luxe Sateen. You could still use for like a skirt if you wanted a skirt that was going to be fuller, right? Because it's definitely thick, but it doesn't, there's no stretch to it. I'm going to try to, so hard to choose from. You offer such good stuff. Thank you. That means a lot to me. This has been somewhat of a roller coaster, you guys. It's an accident. I say this a lot. It's an accidental wow. I started teaching how to dye your own fabric. Dyed a bunch of fabric. You guys loved it. I understand it's a lot of money to invest into all the things to dye your own fabric. So I love for you to be a part of my classes at like So Magical and other expos, and maybe eventually I'll go out to Lauren out at her place and do socations and things like that. But until my kid is in both my kids are in college, I've decided I'm probably only doing one or two of those things a year. And then when we decided that we were going to vend at So Magical Florida for next fall, I was like, I don't have the ability to dye that much fabric. And so that's when we started hunting and trying to find how could we offer prints that felt like they were still me and were unique, but also still stick with what we're doing that's eco-friendly, because all of our printing is eco-friendly printed. There's hardly any water used in our printing. It's a pretty innovative technique that's not found very much here in the United States. It's all American milled except for the linens, because that's all milled in France. So we've really tried really hard to give you guys something different and unique, because I have so many other small business bestie friends and I want you to go and support them too. And I wanted fabrics that would go well with my hand-dyed fabric. Like this one here. This one is sweet. I have this one still in the bag because my husband sealed it up. But this one here, this is the Spring Rose Garden. So this one also has some of that kind of like rosy colorway. So I thought for sure like the Desert Rose was also going to go really well with that. I think I had a cotton up here. So I don't know. I might make a spice rack with this. I'm waiting on some glittery TPU, some gold glittered TPU from Katie over at My Little Shindig, who, if you're looking for just like plain glitter TPUs, Katie has a ton of different ones. Go over to My Little Shindig and look, because the other night when I asked her, she sent me like 3 pages of different glittered TPUs, like Amber did on her spice rack to make it look really nice. Now I need to find videos on milling fabric. Milling, milling is the weave. So like actually weaving the fabric, because all of my fabric is cotton blends. The only fabric that has any synthetic that we are offering at all is the cotton lycra, and it's, I want to say 15% spandex maybe. I'd have to double check. I think I have that in the post up above. But everything else is cotton blends. So Katie's like, I have a ton. I'd love to sell out of them. And so everything else is cotton blends. And I know that that's a little different than what maybe I guess some of us are used to also. But in order for me to dye fabric, it has to be organic. It has to not have any chemicals or any extra dyes on it from the beginning. And so that actually was pretty difficult to find at first because pretty much all fabric, even if it's white, is treated with something. And so, you know, you can feel really good about the fabrics that I'm selling to give to people, or if you are making things to like wear or like baby blankets or anything like that, you don't have to worry about any of those chemicals being on it, which I know some people don't like. I still use fabric from everyone else, just so you know, but it was really important for us to, if that's what we were going to do, we were going to offer that. You want to see it done. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's more advanced than what it used to be. My area is pretty, used to be high in textile manufacturing. Actually, my grandmother growing up, I used to sit, my grandmother lived in an old school house that still had the original slate chalkboards on it. And so one of the bedrooms still had the slate chalkboard, and she had in there, she used to work in a weaving mill, and she had an original huge weaving mill. Now I remember, now that I think about it, how dangerous was it for me and my cousins to sit on the edge of the weaving mill and draw on that chalkboard. We're still here, we're still alive, but it used to be pretty big in this area. It's not so much anymore, but I was still able to find some place that we could offer that, and that plays into also our turnover time. And I want to say we want to try to keep it at the 7 weeks and try to get things out earlier, but that's the other nice thing, is that when you order these fabrics in the pre-order, you're not going to have to wait super long for them either. Let's see, is there any other questions? I don't know if I missed anything. Susie says, I wear vintagey dresses and skirts made in sateen. They have a little stretch. Okay. I don't know if this has, it might have a little tiny, I don't think it does. It's probably a different weave, a different blend, but I would say, hey, check it out. It might be similar. But it doesn't have, it really doesn't have a stretch to it. I would purchase, let's see what this, I'm trying to see here, what this says. I would love to be able to purchase larger continuous pieces of the dyed fabrics for making apparel. I love you guys. All right, so here's the deal. When dyeing fabric, the thicker, so I probably can do it without it having a bunch of, how can I explain this? I can't shambori, which is the fold, large amounts of dyed fabric. It just doesn't work. I've tried like 2-yard cuts this summer. I tried 1-yard cuts of the eco organic and 1-yard cuts of the broadcloth poplin. That's why you're starting to see some of those in my drops. Those dyed the best if I was going to do some type of fold. Now I could do a scrunch dye of larger cuts, and my husband actually, we almost had them finished at the end of the summer, built me, you guys wait till you see the pictures this summer, my yard is going to be crazy. He built me, what it reminds me of is, you know, the raised garden beds that like fold up and like you can put them away in the wintertime. So he built me a bunch of those that have a screen, but they're huge. So potentially this summer, I guess I'll probably maybe do a poll on like, do you want 2 or 3 yard cuts? We can give it a try, and see, you know, how it turns out. But we are going to be able to dye a lot more fabric. The problem with the more yardage, one, I can't do a lot of the fancy folds in it, and two, I needed bigger areas to put the fabric and the ice, in order for it to fully saturate the fabric, if that makes sense. It's definitely an ordeal, but we're gonna give it a try, okay, guys? Small scale and big scale with the night court. I feel like Amber, she had used was small, but if not, then that would help me in what I buy tomorrow. So I did post like all of the imagery that should be pinned to the top of the page. If it's not, I'll pin it to the page of like small scale, large scale, but I will, all of the fabric is down on shelves. So I'll go down and get that and post a picture of it so that you guys can see them right next to each other as far as the fabric is concerned. Okay. Anything else? I'm very excited too. I'm very excited too. I'm excited and nervous. You can ask any of the people on my strike team. Whenever you step into doing something new, obviously there's all these like worries and fears. And I just want to apologize to the women who have been making things with my fabric and sharing, for dealing with my anxiety-ness over the past couple of weeks, because it is a big undertaking. All right, anything else that I wanted to show you guys that I have up here? I am working, so Amber and I don't know if Amber is still here. Amber and I love you too, Sybil. Amber and I are going to be doing a live sew-along next Friday with Alex from Sublime Miscellany. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm so excited because their pattern for the Park Hopper bag, that's coming out on the 15th. And they allowed me to sew it early so that we could do this sew-along together. Alex said she might join, they might join us. Apologies, that they might join us. So that's really exciting. So it might be the 3 of us. And I think, did Savannah say she was joining us too? It might be 4 of us. So that's really exciting. So today I was sewing my first one, and I'm almost through it. Would you like to see it? It doesn't have any of my fabric at all. I actually figured I would make this for my mother-in-law. So for those of you who don't know, my mother-in-law is a truck driver, and she is retiring in a little bit. So I'll have a helper. She also is so excited about doing this. She helped me cut a bunch of your fabric from the original pre-order, and she was like, my mother-in-law and I are the same zodiac sign, and so we drive my husband crazy. But anyways, here is my Park Hopper so far. It's so cute. So this is just real thin. It's like a tinted black, I get this clear vinyl, from Wonderground. This is from Gabby. It's like a 3 mil. It's just real thin. And so I figured my mother-in-law would really like this. And then I did the buffalo plaid fleece, and then I did a vinyl, and then these are on the website, you guys. No Drama Llama tag that Jade helped create. So those are available on the website right now. And then this is the top. So you have your little zipper area, and there is a zipper pocket in here. This is all, the whole interior I did in water resistant. So there is another zipper pocket in there. And then there's a place for your drink. I figure my mother-in-law would really, her birthday is at the very beginning of March. So, you know, it's always so hard to know what to buy for your in-laws. So, it's turning out really cool. So I think the only thing I have to do yet is I have to bind the top, I think, and make my crossbody strap. So I'm really excited. And I didn't do it with jelly because I had jelly, but I really wanted to use the buffalo plaid. And then this is a Bookish zipper pull. This is from, I think, Impish Geek. I think that's where that zipper pull is from. So that's that. So tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, all of the retail will go live on the website. If you have any issues with anything, I don't know. I have an email. You shouldn't have any issues. I mean, the only issue that might happen is that what you want might get sold out. But I really want to encourage all of you to know that pre-order, we're going to try to get them out as fast as we can for you guys. We're really dedicated to it. And so I hope that those of you who did the pre-order in November, who've received your fabrics, are in love with it and love how bright and beautiful the prints are. I've already seen some people making things and posting. But yeah, I'm really excited about tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock for Patreon. If you don't know that I have a Patreon, I do. It is pinned to the top of the page. Patreon gets an hour early access to any of my live drops. We will also have, I hope you don't break my site. Again, remember you guys, I'm a micro business. But I do have a Shopify site. So hopefully it all runs smoothly. And then next Thursday we'll do the pre-order again with tags. And I know there's some new people here, so I guess I could show. I only have some of the tags up here, you guys. With the tags, so there's 2 mystery packs of the Faetasy. I think I called one Fae Romance and the other one is High Fae. So if you get both of those, you'll get all of the tags except the In My Fae Court Era. You have to buy the In Fae Court Era one separately, okay? And then there'll be other tags available at the pre-order. The Harry Potter tags will be back for pre-order, and then also the tag that I have that says "So Little Shelf Space," that will be in the pre-order as well. They won't be available in retail tomorrow night. They'll be available in pre-order. So here I'll show you some of the tags that I have up here. Which ones do we got? All right. So I have the Darling. So this is on a blue. So Darling, this is the one that Amber used on her spice rack. And then there's the House of Wind Book Club. This is also on like a blue. And then I have, these are the only ones I have up here. I have the High Lord and the Bat Tattoo. And then I have the High Lady and the like Valeris Moon tattoo. So there's more than that. There's one that says Valeris. There's one that says Sorrel Tea Company. I'm trying to think if I missed any others. The Cursebreaker one. And then one of the kits, one of the mystery packs comes with one of the mystery tags from Jade and Chris, from their vault. Okay, that's that. The tags are very exciting. And then in pre-order, if the tags all sell out, this is my caveat. If all the tags sell out, then in the pre-order, then I'll offer them individually. Just because it is a lot of tags to keep in inventory. So I'm excited to see what you all get. Like, that's like the best part, to see like what people like. I hope you'll like the Bookish coordinates. I just really think, yes, the Faetasy Romantasy series is really cool, and the Dark Academia is really cool as well, and we all love our Potter, and we all love our Fae romance, but I do think there's something to be said about prints that can coordinate with my hand-dyed fabric that can still bring this like fantasy bookish theme. Just so you know, there will be a lot more library prints available on the pre-order. Those are my designs, and I designed a bunch of those. They won't all be released, but I'll probably have at least maybe 5 more in the pre-order for you guys. But is it Fairyland, Lost Library, and the Inside the Oak? Those will be available in retail. Very limited. And then they will also be back for pre-order too. Cool. I can't wait to, please post if you make a book bestie. Please share it here in the group, but then please share also in Kayla's group. If on Instagram, whatever, please tag Kayla. Show her love with this, not just me by doing this here. I really want you to share, you know, with Kayla so she can see it. I can't tell you how good it makes. I mean, it makes me feel really darn good when I see people use my hand-dyed fabric on something. So I know for a fact that pattern makers, like when they see their pattern being made, it's just a good feeling, and we need to make people feel good more, right? Like, I think it's important that we think about that this year in 2024. Let's make others feel good about themselves, about their work, about what they do. Yes, Weft and Warp Co. That's where the butter is. I don't know if she has any retail butter. I had bought that a while ago on like a pre-order, I think. I can't remember. But yeah. And then Katie, if you don't know, Katie's my little shindig for glitter TPU. Because she has a lot and it's really cool. Like I got some that had like little stars in it. I got some that had like flecks in it. Iridescent ones. So she has a bunch, so it would be really cool with like your spice racks. I think it's going to be I'm going to use some of it. I told her I needed it before next week. I'm going to use some for this front piece on the park hopper because I didn't really want something like printed, you know what I mean? To go with the Fae romance or the Harry Potter stuff. So, all right, any other questions? Are we good? Are we ready? I'll go down and get those two to compare, and I'll post a picture of those two so that you guys can see the small scale and the large scale. I'm not going to promise the small scales are going to stay. That was part of me printing to see which I liked. And to be very honest, not large scale, but regular scale. To be really honest, the small scale of the Night is good. Like they're fine, especially on the Sateens. But the details kind of go away when you get smaller. So the regular scale is more what I like, but I figured I would still offer the small scale for this time around if anybody really wanted it. So fun getting to know you and your craft. Oh, thank you, Susie. It's so fun getting to know all of you. That's my favorite part. That's why I was kind of sad at first that YouTube wasn't working right. I want to talk to you all. Because I'm lonely and I only have my dog and my teenagers. So, but it is about community. And if you've been in my group for only a little bit of time, one of my biggest things is like this is about community for me. This is about sharing with you all that self-care is important, and caring for yourself means also having people around you who like support you and believe in you and encourage you. Like, we've gotten away from a lot of that, I think partly because of technology, but the pandemic did that, just technology in the world in general. But I think that it's really important that we share with one another. Look at Diana go. Diana, you need to post that in the group. I just saw a picture. She posted a picture of her book bestie. So I'm gonna let you guys go so you guys can start posting your book back. I don't know who sewed with me tonight, really. But if you did, I want to see them, and tag Kayla too. All right. Good night, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Good luck tomorrow. May the odds ever be in your favor. That's also one of my favorite books, so know for sure that's going to happen at some point. And we're just going to keep on trucking along, doing bookish sew, fun, vibrant colors, being creative, and I'll share as much as I can with you all as we go. Night.